Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Salty Sweet Games. Welcome to Masks of Nyarlathotep. I am the aforementioned Salty.
And I'm Sweet.
And these various assorted spices are our friends. Hi. Before we go around and meet everyone, find out who they're playing, and their characters aren't in any danger, so don't worry about it. They're just going on a chill English countryside trip, and nothing bad ever happened in the English countryside. We got some channels up to get through. First, a ton of thanks to our sponsors. The first being Roll20, a virtual tabletop of choice, which unites gamers across any distance with easy-to-use tools that run straight from your web browser for free. We're part of their Spotlight program, where they highlight indie TTRPG creators all across the world, and we are super happy to be continuing our relationship with them and expanding it, and it's just great. I'm using maps today. Well, I have maps. If they are used, we shall see. Who knows? Also, for those of you who like the physical click-clacks and the chunky boys, Dice Envy, we're an affiliate with them. You can go to their website and use the code SALTYSWEET, all caps, one word, to get 10% off your order. And, just today, they have released the second in their metallic dice dragon series. This time it's the blue dragon, and they're very pretty. They look like sapphires. And I want them. I mean, red's more my color, but blue is also very good. We have tons of blue in our stuff.
I mean, our theme colors is blue with some pink.
So, yes, you can go get metal dice, you can get stone, you can get gemstone. They've really expanded, and they're shipping out really fast, even during the pandemic. So go check them out. And finally, Grinding Coffee Co., a Black and LGBTQA plus owned company that makes all organic brews and donates part of their proceeds to charities. And I finally have them back in my cup. Yes, this is the Peru blend officially. I'm no longer just recommending it, I have it back. And I'm very happy about that. Yes, the sweet, sweet taste of Peruvian vampires.
I didn't know where you were going there.
Where else would I be going?
I
Weirdest
don't know.
possible place. Okay. Basically, all of these sponsors help to support the channel. It helps support not only the channel, but also helps us compensate our cast. We actually had our first payout to our cast because we believe they should be valued and paid for their time and energy and talent. I don't know why I'm singing this morning, but that's what we believe, even though it's through a song. So that's super cool. And of course, there are donation options listed down below that can actually impact the game in real time. We got something that's going to be very useful last week. So if you want to help out these players who may be running low on advantages, they probably don't need it though, so don't worry about it. But you can click on that, go to our Streamlabs tip jar, or use bits. Help us keep the lights on, help out the PCs too. Last thing, we here at Salty Sweet Games use safety tools, lines, veils, X and O cards, stars and wishes, and content warnings because while the characters may be put through hell, English countryside hell, the players are here to have fun. I hope I said characters the first time. Good on me if I remembered. Bad on me if I didn't. Yay! And the players are our priority always. Without further ado, we should meet them and talk to them. Kienna, who are you playing?
Hi, I'm the Sweet of the channel, but today I am playing Irene Blackwell. She is our resident art forger, secret mom, I guess. Not so secret anymore to the players, at least, or the characters. She's here because of lots of things, but also artistic interest and stuff. There's a weird artist in England. And she wants to learn more about the weird artist in England.
Yeah. Good. Excellent. Let's hop up to Allie. Hi, Allie.
Hey, baby. Hey, everybody. It's Allie, and I'm playing Ganymede Graves, adventure scientist, as usual. You know, she's just got degrees in archaeology and biology and spends her life sailing around the world exploring. But now she's home in the house where she grew up, and her grandfather's there, and he seemed less approving than she might like the last time we were together.
He just had something in his throat.
Is that oh good. I'm just wondering, is that in the content warnings for this episode, disapproving family members? Because
maybe it should be.
Triggered, yeah.
Maybe it should be. Okay. Let's go over to Summer. Good morning, Summer!
Hi. Hello. I'm Summer. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm playing Charlie Rapp, who uses he, him pronouns.
Ooh.
And I love Europe.
Who wouldn't? I was listening to Panic at the Disco this morning.
Yeah, you were. Absolutely, you were.
And the song This Is Gospel reminded me of Charlie.
Really?
Yeah.
I can see that a little bit.
Yeah.
I can see that a little bit.
Maybe you'll find out why soon.
No.
Sorry, it reminded me of my plans for Charlie.
Oh,
my plans for Charlie, right?
Okay.
Speaking of young gentlemen who I have so many plans for. Hi, Tommy!
Okay, I'm now very afraid. I am instantly terrified and quaking in my boots based on that introduction.
Yay!
Just the energy level that went up to. Hi, hello, yes, I'm Tommy, Adam Vanderping on the Judas Sphere. And I play Zebulon Augustine Claiborne Montgomery the Third, our resident 21-year-old in this group of adults. And aspiring photojournalist is baby. Might be hypnotized. We don't know. Things happened.
Things happen.
But all
boats.
I know is that we want Zar. We want Zar.
Is
Everyone
that what
here
Zebulon's
wants Zar.
just saying in his
I'm
head?
chanting it too.
Okay. I'm going to do a recap now so we can get this show on the road. Last time was our cottagecore episode, but before we got there, some curious investigators opened a box that they had borrowed. Inside was a grotesque mask with 4 bizarre carved heads. This box was headed to Empire Spices in Soho, London, so Ganymede had the bright idea to trick the recipient into contacting the party with a forged note courtesy of Irene. The group stopped off in Oxford, where they met not only Ganymede's friend and former nanny Beatrix Oakley, but also her grandfather, Sir Edmund, captain of the Daring. After pleasantries were exchanged, Beatrix actually recognized the name Annabelle when Zebulon mentioned wanting to visit a sister. She had read it in a copy of The Scoop, but Charlie had to sift through several copies to find the mention. On the way, he also found an article about the artist, Miles Shipley, a string of so-called Egyptian murders in London, and the sighting of a strange beast in Lesser Edale. It was in this last article that the preeminent family of the village was profiled and pictured alongside Annabelle Claiborne Montgomery. Charles spent the time before supper trying to connect with the energy left behind by Ganymede's missing parents, the couple he saw in a desert through one of his visions. And he indeed saw them again, this time in a tent in a jungle somewhere, drinking an odd amber liquid that some of our astute investigators might recognize, before quite literally fading from sight. So, I know we're on our way to Lesser Edale today, but Ganymede, did you want to give the vials of whatever they are, and to Beatrix to have tested, as well as to get, what was it, to gain everyone access to Oxford proper?
Yes, definitely. So perhaps over breakfast at the Willows, which is the name of their cottage. Ganymede says to Beatrix, Beatrix, I'm wondering if you would be able to make a run to the laboratory for me today. I have something that might be of interest to you.
Sure, I can do that. I think it might be good for the, She gestures with her head somewhere. Grandfather is not currently here. For the old man, if he got some peace and quiet.
Yes, I think you might be right about that. So perhaps, and I sort of hand her the box that I got from the NYPD. I have no idea. I have no idea where to begin with this. I don't know what it is, but thought perhaps you could put that chemistry degree of yours to good use.
Of course, anything for you.
Oh, and also, I wonder if you might drop by the readership office at the Bodleian, see if we can get access for my friends for when we return.
Of course, Gammy.
Sure, they will. I'll make sure they leave you with the appropriate information. It's so lovely to see you again, Beatrix.
It's good to see you too. And she pauses for a second, sips her tea. You seem a little shaken?
Do I? And she just sips her tea without making eye contact.
Yes, you do.
Well, it was like Peru all over again. I saw some truly terrifying things, and I have no explanation. It would pique my curiosity deliciously if it weren't for the horror of it all. I don't want to fill your nightmares any more than I did when I came back from Peru, but we're on to something. I think, Beatrix, it is something old, something ancient and terrible, I think.
Maybe somebody else would laugh at that kind of thing, but Beatrix just looks at you for a while, still sipping her tea, and nods. She doesn't say anything else. The rest of you can tumble out of bed and down to breakfast. It's all laid out for you. Again, the cottage is cozy, but obviously big enough to accommodate all of you. Grandfather doesn't join you for breakfast, but you do hear him moving about. He's not a late sleeper or anything.
Yeah. I imagine that his aftershave, the smell of his aftershave sort of fills the upstairs of the cottage, and as you all come down, but as soon as you begin down the stairs, it's bacon and eggs and toast and tea, and it's all very cozy. The insides of the windows in the dining room are sort of steamed over with steam that's coming from the kitchen. What's the weather like outside today? I know yesterday was terrible.
Raining.
Of course it is.
I mean, it's more of a drizzle right now.
I hope there's lots of food.
Mm-hmm. I think when just knowing how Zebulon eats, Beatrix is very, very pleased with you.
Zebulon is just, he's got like big pile of eggs, lots of bacon, lots of toast. And
beans, of course.
beans, yes.
Beans.
Oh, beans.
Our English breakfast. Well, good morning. Did you all rest well?
I mean, I absolutely slept like a baby in a haystack. I mean, it was nice not to be in a bed that was kind of like moving and shifting, sort of.
Is that what they do in America? They put their babies in haystacks.
I think it's more of a reference to baby animals than it is to actual human babies.
Ah.
Although I mean, there is baby Jesus and baby in the manger sort of thing with all that. So I mean, it could be. I'm not really honestly sure. It's just kind of something people say.
Right. Yeah.
He slept as well as baby Jesus.
You must be
I
very
mean,
blessed.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose that is one way to look at it. Yes. But yes, no, I slept great. I mean, I'm gonna, I've been on ships before. I'm used to it. But at the end of the day, I always prefer a bed on solid ground.
Rest and you sleep okay.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, she takes her dishware and moves to start doing the cleaning, and you are all left alone.
All right, so what are our plans for today?
Well, I'd like to, if possible, head up and see if I can get a hold of my sister up in, what was it called? Honestly, I didn't really think that it was any sort of an actual town name.
Lesser Edale.
Lesser Edale. What was that even? I mean, what kind of name is that? I mean, I don't even.
It's like Edale, but less.
Why would you ever name something lesser? Like, I don't understand. Why would you ever name yourself lesser? It just feels kind of self-deprecating. I don't know.
Just because something's smaller, Zeb, doesn't mean that it's not as good. I mean, think about your gun.
I don't have a gun anymore, so I mean that's just.
Less gun.
I mean, I think that. I mean, based on, obviously, a gun's a gun. But I mean, let's be real here, Ganymede. I'm gonna be like the gun that I was provided with definitely did nothing quite like the gun that you used to shoot all those cultists, right? So, I mean, I don't think that's exactly the best analogy there. But I mean,
you could be right.
Anyways, I was hoping to head up there. I mean, y'all are welcome to join me if you would like. I mean, I'm gonna have to figure out how to get there, but I could always just ask someone how to get there. Charlie, you don't have to come if you don't want to.
I think Charlie takes like a very thoughtful bite of toast. Like he's really thinking it over, and he just kind of says, well, it's not so much that I don't want to come along. It's just, obviously I don't think your sister would be much in the mood for seeing me right now, but there are some other things that I kind of want to look into in the city, things that I noticed in the paper that I think might be interesting to follow up on. So I'm thinking I'll come along and then leave you to track her down.
Fair enough, fair enough. Miss Blackwell, Ganymede.
Well, I see no need for us to split up at this moment.
I'm sure Anna would love to see you, Ganymede. If you'd like to come up or over wherever it is.
Yes, of course. That would be lovely. I've asked B to complete the proper forms for you all to be admitted to the Bodleian, to the library. It will just take the day, but as long as you've left your personal information with her, she can handle that tomorrow. We'll have access and can continue our research there. But yes, I'd quite fancy a trip to the country, Zeb.
I mean, are we not already in the country here?
No, we are decidedly not. This is going to be quite an experience for you, I can tell, Zeb.
All right then, and I suppose we're all headed to Lesser Edale.
Yep. Is there anything anybody would like to do before we hop on the train?
Kind of.
Sure.
Kind of. But I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want to go about this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to, when I get a second, when it's not weird, I'm going to pull Ganymede aside.
Okay.
Just for a second.
Yeah, I think maybe everybody's at least packing a day bag or even potentially an overnight bag just in case. Because it's
just
a couple hours to the north.
For sure. Yeah, and I think when he gets a second, he's going to say, Ganymede, could I speak to you for a second?
Of course. Of course. Charles, is there something you need?
Well, I was thinking about your parents. I was wondering how much your grandfather knew about the trip they were on or their work when they went missing.
Well, we've talked about it, of course, over the years, but he knew vaguely where they were headed, and of course they were searching for Zed, the lost city, but beyond that, is there something in particular?
Well, I had that strange vision of them in the desert.
Yes, of course.
But last night I saw them again.
Ganymede blanches perhaps just a bit at that. You saw them here?
Well, I admit I was kind of looking for them. I thought this place is so full of their things and their memories, and I thought if I could reach out and I don't really know how it works yet. It's still kind of new, but I saw them, and I'm fairly certain it wasn't at the same time. It wasn't the same place for sure. But I saw them do something strange. They were in a jungle, I think. There was a bug net, and they drank something, like amber liquid, and they disappeared. And literally faded out of existence. I don't know how reliable that vision is or what really happened, but
Were you sleeping, or was it one of your visions?
no, I was very much awake.
And this liquid, it was amber. You say, was it like scotch, or Father had the
No.
occasional?
No, they were drinking it out of these vials. It seemed, just the way they were going about it seemed very intentional. Like they knew that something was going to happen.
The vials, were they like the ones in the box?
Were they?
Mm-hmm. Not exactly the same, but similar enough.
Similar.
Lauren, was the liquid in the vials in the box amber also?
Yes.
I don't remember. Aha. Well, I've given the vials to take to the chemistry lab for some tests. Perhaps by the end of the day we'll have some clearer sense of what's in them, if they are indeed similar to the ones that you saw, and what it does.
Hopefully she uncovers something and make that vision make a lot more sense. Of course, it's not a foolproof thing. I could have been wrong.
Of course. And Ganymede looks as though she's about to step away and continue getting ready to leave, but then she turns back to you and she just takes you by the hand and says, "Thank you, Charles. Thank you."
They're still out there. And if I can, I'm going to help you find them.
She squeezes your hand and then turns away quickly and sort of brushing a tear as she continues to get ready.
Yeah, Charlie will go get ready too.
Great. I think the last thing then, Ganymede, while you're packing up, is that your grandfather raps on the door. Just one. And is standing there looking like was maybe gardening, actually. Yeah, like wearing his gardening clothes. I imagine that he enjoys it.
Yeah. With the wrap on the door frame, it's just instinctual for Ganymede. She kind of pops up and says, "Enter, sir," and then turns around. "Oh, good morning, grandfather. You've been out of doors this morning."
Beatrix got a little experimental in the garden.
She is prone to that sort of thing, isn't she?
Mm.
That's with a smile.
overheard while I was moving about a bit of your conversation with your acquaintances from America. Now, Ganymede, I know that there is the image of the cowboy across the pond, but while you are on English soil, I hope you would use discretion when it comes to, well, firearms and the like.
Ganymede is... She's got that expression on her face where she's trying really hard not to smile.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, Grandfather, when have you ever known me to have anything but the utmost discretion in the use of firearms?
I think both of you remember back to a time when Ganymede was a teenager and maybe took out a pirate. So there is definitely just kind of a narrowing of the eyes. It's different when you're at sea.
And Ganymede nods. She knows he's absolutely right about that. I promise not to reenact the gunfight at the OK Corral in Lesser Edale, Grandfather.
Very good. Should. He doesn't finish that. He just kind of shifts his weight a bit.
Grandfather, how long do you plan to be ashore?
A few weeks, at least, perhaps a month.
Oh my! When was the last time you spent that long on land?
Don't recall.
Are there repairs or upgrades to the daring that are being made, or?
No, just regulation. But, my granddaughter's here, so thought I might, take the time.
Well, perhaps over dinner we might discuss what to do with some of that time.
Just nods.
Yeah.
And goes to walk away.
Grandfather.
Hmm.
It is good. It's good to be here with you.
He doesn't quite smile. He kind of looks around your room until his eyes light on a picture of your parents. And he just walks out. All right, to the train station. Excellent. So, the train to take you into the area of Derbyshire, which is where Edale and Lesser Edale are. The train stops in Edale. It doesn't go to Lesser Edel. It's about a 5-mile walk, or you can catch a lift on a cart with passing farmer. And everybody got an advantage from a hawk. Thank you, hawk. So we walking or riding?
Again, I mean, how are we getting there?
Riding! I would
Yeah,
say.
Oh yeah, if there's a wagon, she'll just sort of hop on
Yeah.
and look to the others to follow her example.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Charlie, don't hesitate. Walking as if.
In these shoes?
In these shoes?
Yeah.
No,
Especially
ma'am.
because it hasn't let up. The drizzle hasn't, in a way. You're, again, it's to the north, basically. As you ride into the town proper, it's a beautiful sight. Very, very different than any of the cities you've been in. There are limestone cliffs and outcrops, wooded vales, moorland, and waterfalls. I mean, the countryside is gorgeous. It's immaculately green. You see sheep grazing. Even out here, the rain doesn't bother you as much. It's very clean and almost refreshing. Although you do see dark storm clouds on the horizon. And it's a bit chillier here as we're a little farther north. As you get...
This, Zebulon, is the countryside.
It's very quaint. Very different from a lot of the countrysides that we found ourselves in. Well, I mean, I would say at certain places there wasn't really a really countryside. It was just kind of country that we ended up in. Just a lot of country down there in Argentina.
Yes, indeed. And perhaps we'll ask the farmer whose cart we've hopped on.
Yeah.
Where to find this family that...
The Veins.
Yes.
Vein.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I think Zeb is... Sir, you wouldn't happen to know where we could find the Vein family?
He says, yeah, they're up at Castle Plum.
They have a castle. All right, then.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I suppose you wouldn't happen to be able to drive us up that way after we drop off our friend in the village.
Not going up that way.
All right, then.
Not a taxi.
I'm fairly certain there's an amount of money that Charles could offer that this guy would.
I'm not going that way either, so pave your own path. But
As you pull into the village, it's very picturesque. There are about 30 homes, some of which even have thatch for roofing. There's an inn, a general store, what looks like a small modern church next to the foundations of maybe an older one. There's even a veterinary clinic because there are lots of farms in the area. You would assume that most people who live here either are farmers, or maybe they can basically commute to Edel, which has a very large cotton mill. But
yeah, once we get into town, Charlie will take all of our stuff and go to the inn.
Yeah.
Just because the rest of them, I'm assuming, are all going to the Vane's house.
do you all want to stop off in the inn, or are you going to just vaguely walk to where you think a castle might be?
I mean, when we're getting off, Zebulon says, "Well, then, sir, if you could perhaps point us in the direction of Castle Plum."
Yeah, he probably. Yeah, he gestures to the north. There are a couple roads, not many, but there's one that goes to the north.
All right, thank you very kindly. And Zeb's like patting himself down. He brings out like a I don't know, 50 cents is still is a good amount of money at this time in the year, right? But all he's got is American money on him.
No!
All he's got is American money on him.
I bet all the others exchanged, but it makes sense that Zeb didn't.
Like Zeb at home definitely has currencies from other countries, like
Totally.
Argentina,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But like, it was usually probably acquired later on in the, and just like I do seem to have forgotten to change out my. Do you have a bank around here that changes out my?
He just kind of shakes his head. Full moon's in a few days.
That is good to know, sir. Ganymede, is it possible for me to trade you a few of my coins for some of your local
Yes, of course.
Of course. So,
You have to like catch up a bit as he like started running off.
yeah. I hand him like 50 pence, right? Like,
Right.
I don't.
Yeah.
50 pence coin. Zeb gives Ganymede like $3 American for whatever the equivalent of English money is.
She just shakes her head at you.
Look, Zeb may or may not have been a little out of it when y'all were exchanging money.
Yeah, that's true.
All right then. I mean, I think we can. I mean, I wouldn't want you to have to carry everything to the inn yourself. We could. I mean, are we planning on staying the evening here, or what's our plan? Are we trying to?
Well, I mean, I think it's better just to go ahead and get a room, keep our things there, and even if we don't end up using it, we can pick them up and leave.
Yeah. And the drizzle is getting a little heavier now as we get into the afternoon.
Yeah, Charlie just wants to get their stuff so we're not all like lugging it from point A to point B to a place. Yeah. And the inn seems like the best shot, especially if we happen to stay overnight, you know.
Yeah, I think
go ahead
Zeb
and have those rooms ready.
I wouldn't want you to have to carry everything by yourself. I don't think there's a super rush to get up to Castle Vane or Castle Plum, whatever it's called. Right this very moment, I think we can spend a few minutes to get ourselves settled at the inn and then head out. I mean, if that's how everyone else feels.
Great. The inn and the general store are both within eyesight. The inn is called the Laughing Horse Inn.
That's a little terrifying.
I hate that.
that's a little terrifying.
It was like so it's like laughing. Okay.
Yeah, it's
horse.
laughing.
Yeah. And then it's skin.
It's a happy horse.
Yeah,
skin.
Totally normal.
Please remember the skin at the end of that.
No, it's in. Happy laughing horse in.
Okay.
But the picture.
No skin.
The picture of the horse on fire is a little.
Oh, great.
Happy
Love
horse.
That too.
It's
a happy horse on fire.
Happy horse.
The horse doesn't have any skin? Is that what you said? What?
I heard skin instead of in, and I was very concerned.
As you should have been. So when you walk in, there are several people, lots of people who seem to have been taking shelter as the rain picked up. And when you go inside, everyone goes quiet.
Evening, folks. It seems to be a bit of a
We're looking for a
downpour.
room.
Yes, we're looking for a room. Yep, what he said.
Great. The owner, the man standing behind the bar, waves you over. Talk has generally resumed. It was just the kind of surprise of, wow, 4 strangers. But he waves you over.
Yeah, I'll go over to him.
All right. How many rooms do you need?
I think just 2 should do it.
All right. Yeah, we got 2 doubles for you then. Each will be 2 and 6 a night, breakfast included. 2 and 6,
right.
2 shillings 6 pence.
Yeah. Charlie says, I think it should just be the night. And we'll hand over the money.
Mm-hmm. Right. What brings you to Lesser Edale, if you don't mind me asking? Don't get a lot of visitors.
My friend here, Mr. Montgomery, has a sister in town.
Right. Somebody calls me back. What would they say? There's a whistle.
Mm-hmm.
Just a whistle. And this man, the owner, his name is Bill Tatlock, and he just kind of cuts his eyes at whoever did it behind y'all.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of whistle?
Like a wolf whistle?
Like
Yeah.
like.
Just a, yeah.
Right,
What's his last name again? Sorry.
Tatlock.
Tatlock.
Yes, I was hoping to call upon my sister here. It's been a little while since I've seen her, and I'd heard that she was out and about these parts, and yeah, and it's a lovely, quite a lovely little village you got here.
Thanks, we like it well enough. Can I get any of you a drink?
I would love one.
All right.
I look at the girls. I don't know if they want to head out as soon as we drop stuff off or get a drink.
Charlie's gonna stay and drink a lot. It's gonna be awesome.
I think the rest of us will drop our stuff off, and I think we're gonna head out. Yeah. Miss Blackwell, I don't know if you would like to accompany us or hang out with Charlie, have a drink with him.
That's actually a really good question because I had no strong pulls either way.
Mm-hmm.
I think we would have talked about on the way here that that Charlie's going to be looking into the monster.
Right.
That's what he's going to be doing. So he's going to stay here and drink to kind of like familiarize himself with the locals.
Mm-hmm.
And then slowly work his way into a conversation about the killer beast or whatever the fuck's going on.
Cool. I think Irene's going to stick with Charlie then, just because it makes more sense for her.
More than anything, Zeb is trying to insinuate. Last time we got into investigating suspicious stuff, Charlie ended up with a giant knife through his side, and right now they're clearly the only two capable people of
You think I need a babysitter?
Yes, I do. I think we both need babysitters. Is the problem. The only two people capable of defending themselves in this entire campaign is Ganymede and Irene. like Zeb doesn't have his magic golden thingy-mabobber anymore to make people melt.
That's all he had going for him.
It's really like
A magical stick.
All right then. I think that let's drop off our stuff and then we can head out, Ganymede.
All right. So we'll start with at least the walk up to Plum Castle. You can, after walking just a bit up the road that the farmer pointed out, you see it. It's a proper medieval castle. Looks in need of repairs, honestly. It stands on a stone bluff about 200 feet above the rest of the town. Definitely a bit intimidating as you get closer if you've never been to a medieval castle. And there is a large wooden door.
I mean, you're not expecting me to believe that people actually still live in these things, yeah? Like, I mean, that can't be comfortable.
All over England and Wales and Scotland, everywhere. As for comfort, well, some are more comfortable than others, I suppose we're about to see.
Right then. Do you think I should approach first, or should you approach since you're, like, from this, like, kind of area?
Oh, I think she's your sister, Zeb, I think.
I mean, yeah, it is my... Yeah, I understand that, but, like, do they have, like... I don't know, do they have, like, servants still? Like they still got that whole, like...
There may
thing
be.
Going on?
There may be house staff, but not necessarily. There's only one way to find out, as they say.
Alright, then, Zeb's gonna go up and he's gonna use the knocker.
Sure. It takes a while, but after a few moments, a small kind of window in the door opens. And there's a man there in a butler's uniform, kind of silver hair, slicked back, balding on top. He looks very disapproving. May I help you?
Yes, hello. My name is Zebulon Augustine Claiborne Montgomery III, and I was hoping to ask after my sister, who I believe was a guest of your residence. Last I had heard of her, she had been in this area, and I was wondering if you had perhaps, if she was perhaps still a guest here, Annabelle Virginia Claiborne Montgomery.
He looks toward Ganymede.
Yes, simply an acquaintance, Ganymede Graves.
Do you have a card? Something in writing?
Well, I haven't had my business cards printed yet, so I don't really have my... what kind of card? Yeah, he like turns back again. Turns over again.
Calling card.
Yeah, Ganymede would know, like, especially if like this is like a noble family. You need something in writing. Like, you can't just walk into their house.
Unfortunately, I mean, this was kind of a, wasn't expecting to be in the area, but I am, and I was just hoping to drop in and say hi to my sister. I don't need to go. I mean, if my sister's here, if you could just let her know that her brother is around Zebulon, Augustine, Claiborne, Montgomery III.
Meanwhile, I think Ganymede is rummaging through her bag and draws out a calling card. It's probably bent in a little bit and might be a little bit damp. But yes, through the window.
He takes that and kind of, it's almost imperceptible, but he nods approvingly. And shuts the panel as he leaves. Oh yes, everybody got an eldritch gift from Katie. You gotta make sure we give something big for Tommy to roll. We've got 10 skill points for Charlie, a useful item for Irene, a reroll
Useful
for
item
Zach.
TM.
Yes.
I'm getting there.
And yes, if you write that down, I'll figure it out when it's appropriate. Yes. Excellent. These are good this morning. Thank you, Katie.
I arguably have one of the most useful things for me personally, for
you.
me as a person.
I also think, Ganymede, after you roll that, you might be able to roll just a history check, just about the Vane family, because obviously they are, like, well-known.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe not in London proper, but...
Okay, I'm just gonna roll.
Okay.
And after 23 episodes of the game, I still have no clue how to roll on the Eldritch Gifts table, so...
It's a macro, so if you move to the macro tab...
If you click it's the 3 lines with the dots.
Yup.
And then do you see Eldritch Gifts? You can just hit roll right there.
Hey, some temporary HP. Nice.
Yay.
Excellent. So, nice. Very good. So, I think all you would have heard about the Vanes is that they're listed in Burke's Peerage, which is a genealogical publisher. And that Plum Castle is mentioned in the Domesday book. But if you've never been that interested in it before, then it probably wouldn't ring any bells.
Yeah.
Okay. After a while, the door opens and rushing out of it, arms open, in just the chicest dress, her hair perfectly pinned in the current style, is Annabelle Virginia Claiborne Montgomery, as she throws her arms around both of you, even in the rain.
Yeah. Oh.
Kienna?
Oh.
Oh, I can't believe you came all this way. What are you doing here?
Would you believe me if I said that we had just come all the way out to England to see you?
No.
Good. Then, yeah, no. But
I will forgive you for trying to pawn that off on me because you brought Ganymede.
Annabelle, it is lovely to see you. You look smashing, as usual.
I would hope so. What are y'all, doing here? How'd you know I was here?
Pearl had mentioned that you were out in England.
Well, that one can certainly run her mouth.
Now have you heard about Pearl?
Heard what?
Well, Pearl's engaged in New York.
I had not heard that, but I'm sure he's good looking. Officer Rossi is very attractive.
Zeb's just gonna go like, yeah, but Zeb's view of Rossi is just marred by the fact that he knows he's Bob and he's a dirty cop.
Oh my god, you know who Rossi's face claim is though? It's the guy in the wedding planner that's not Matthew McConaughey, the one that she's supposed to marry, who was also in Dollhouse, the TV show. That guy, that's who Rossi is. What is his name in that? I think it's Massimo in the wedding planner. Anyway, he's
Justin Chambers? Massimo.
Yeah.
Massimo, yeah. Oh my god.
That's Rossi.
He's something. Zeb's out here just like, oh, it's up. He wants to be like, he's a mobster just to tip off Annabelle, but he's like, I mean, I've told Pearl, and it's Pearl's decision to whether or not she tells anyone. It's like, he's I mean, he's something. I mean, must be quite something. They knew each other for what, like 2 months?
That sounds like Pearl.
Yeah, it was as much of a surprise to everyone else as it was to you.
Well, I might ask the same question of you. What in the world has you been less at Edale?
She pulls both of you over a bit, under a bit of the cover that the entrance offers. Like right inside the door, you see the butler still there, like inside, watching, waiting. But she says, well, I came over from London. I was doing some business there, seeing some new samples from my provider and things like that. But I was contacted by the family to design a gown for kind of their version of a debutante ball for their daughter. Her name's Eloise. Real sweet girl, quiet, but it keeps getting put off. So I came down, I had to go back, came down again, had to go back, and I'm back for the third time, and I've made friends with the family. So there's there's Eloise, as I've said, and there's Lord Arthur and his son Lawrence. We call him Larry. But it's definitely been a little odd. I mean, I've done what I can, although this event keeps getting pushed back.
Oh, well, I mean, I can't suppose you can just make the dress once and that it's good as done.
Zebulon, I know you don't understand couture, but, Pat.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's not me. But speaking of making things, I mean, Pearl does want you to make the dress for
Oh,
her
well, I would insist.
I mean, I told her that. Yeah, I told her that you would absolutely fight anyone else that tried.
Well, let's step inside fully. Looks like the storm is getting worse. I'll tell. She makes eyes at the butler. Roger, to announce you all, so you can meet the family and not have to walk back in the rain, hopefully. They're very...
Just like, yeah, Zeb knows exactly what she means.
Yeah.
Because I mean that they when they're they're pretty good. They're pretty close. Like
Yeah.
not as close as Zeb and Frankie are, but
Mhm.
you know, they're you know, a few years apart siblings that are close. And so like he's definitely heard her tell stories about her making the socialite rounds in Charleston and the areas around that, and so he's very familiar with her, like talking about like the hoity-toities.
Totally.
He's just kind of like grinning at her. I mean, it's real good to see you, Anna, and that would be appreciated.
Yeah, so y'all can step inside and close the large door behind you. Back in the village, at the Laughing Horse Inn, after Irene and Charles have put their things away, what are you doing? What are you up to?
Drinking.
Great. They have, probably the nicest thing they have is a bourbon whiskey that's called Wolf Moon.
Ooh, I'll take it.
Yeah.
That's
You
not
got it.
weird.
It's
not
not
specific.
weird. It's not.
Wolf Moon. Okay. Yeah, so Charlie's drinking that. I don't know. Is Irene drinking too?
Lightly, probably.
Sipping.
Yeah, she's sipping on something.
Yeah, and I think Charlie's gonna chill for a while and kind of like take in the atmosphere of the room and like listen, and like I don't know if it's relevant at all, but I can read lips.
Sure, why don't you make a read lips roll?
I'm gonna use an advantage. I'm not great at it, but you know, whatever.
Hey!
Ooh, a success!
Nice.
Woo!
Just like what you pick up generally is,
Yeah.
like it doesn't seem like an unfriendly group. They're definitely curious about these new people who have American accents. Excuse me. You do see some of them, you hear mention of somebody, just one of the folks in the bar area of this place, mention what looks like to your eyes the black dog of Edale. Some of them are talking about something that happened 3 months ago. Some saying still hearing howls and might come back. That's what you get from your read lips.
Yeah. I think that Charlie is going to turn to Bill and say, obviously we have a friend in the area, but I'll admit to you that I actually had another reason that I was interested in stopping by.
Yeah, what's that?
I heard that you have a animal problem.
The same thing that happened when you entered happens again, where everybody kind of stops moving and looks over at you. But this time nothing really is breaking it.
Yeah.
Zeb's not there to smooth things over with his stammering.
Yeah. Smooth things over. Charlie will just take a big sip with a smile. As if he hadn't noticed the room getting quiet.
Yeah. So, Bill, who looks, I mean, decidedly, he does a good job covering it.
Yeah.
Like with activity, but he definitely looks a little more agitated, and he looks over in the corner and goes, Ernest, Give us a whistle. And the man who probably did the wolf whistle earlier actually starts to whistle a tune. And it's very clear and like very on pitch. It's like, but people start to relax a bit and kind of go back to talking. And Bill finally says, "Oh, we did, but it was a couple months back, and no one here really likes to talk about it."
Really? Because I feel like people have been talking about it since we got here. Just not out loud.
I want you to make a charm check.
Okay. I get automatic advantage on
Irene,
those.
I want you to make a psychology check. Nice.
Hard success.
Nice.
I'm gonna use an advantage here because
I'm so charming.
she
You
doesn't
are.
fucking know.
Okay.
Yeah, I got close.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm so close.
You see some of the other people who were sitting at the bar itself are kind of shifting, but that's about it. Charlie, your focus is on Bill. And when you say that everybody's been talking about it, just not out loud, he kind of smirks a bit. Well, guess that's true. I'm assuming you read the papers.
Yeah, the scoop.
Yeah. Filthy rag, that. But, yeah, it was about 3 months ago. Two good people are dead, and another was injured and went away to recuperate.
Charlie kind of leans back and nods a little bit. That's too bad.
Yeah, really, really is.
But or a dog was killed, right?
Yes, and this is when he looks at... Bill kind of straightens up and looks at one particular man sitting at the bar, rotund, kind of red cheeks. I'm gonna imagine Nick Frost because I love Hot Fuzz. But he's kind of like very nervously drinking and like blushing a bit. Yes, our Constable Tumwell shot the beast that was causing it, apparently.
I'm looking at the man that's sitting at the bar, right?
Yup, he's buried in his cup.
Yeah. Charlie will raise his drink to him a little bit, be like, "Congratulations."
Thanks. Yeah, he gone off to die in the hills, whatever it was. Been no trouble since I shot the blighter, thank God.
Sure. It's good to hear, especially if it did so much damage first time it came around.
I think a woman who's also at the bar, says, "Yeah, well, still here howling at night, Constable. What's that all about?" Drinks.
If you don't mind my asking, who was it that was killed?
Bill says, it was, George Osgood, and Lydia Perkins.
Were they together?
No, it was on 2 separate nights, and then the last one, Harold Short was attacked and survived. I heard there's a bit of a rumor that the vicar saw what did it. Caught some glimpse of whatever it was and was able to help Harold inside.
Well, hopefully that business is all over for good.
I want to do a general check out the room while Charlie is talking
Sure.
situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just a general idea
Yeah.
of what's going on.
Yeah.
Extreme.
Whoa, nice. So there's this woman at the bar who's obviously very skeptical, and I think you pick up on the sense that a lot of people are skeptical. Again, apparently no one's been attacked or seen anything, they just hear things. Constable Tumwell is embarrassed. And there is a very good-looking young man, blonde, kind of very chiseled cheekbones, who you think has been listening very intently to everything.
Okay. Did Mr. Osgood or Miss Perkins have any surviving family?
Yeah, there's Edith, George's wife. She's taking care of the kids now on her own, and Lydia's father, John, he ain't doing so well, but I wouldn't go being an imposition on them. They just want to be left alone, I think.
Well, no, I completely understand. I am, well, back in the United States, I'm a bit of a philanthropist. I like to help people who are down on their luck.
Well, ain't no shortage of people to philanthropize here. And a couple people laugh.
Oh, that's what I mean. If I can, even though we'll only be in town today, possibly the morning, if I can do anything to make life a little bit easier here, I'd like to.
Well, if you want to see if they'll talk to you, I can tell you where they live. And you see at this point, the constable kind of stands up and adjusts, pulls up his pants a bit, and is trying not to look like he's making a hasty exit, but it's definitely getting out.
Yeah. Charlie notices that but doesn't say anything. He just says, particularly Edith, she's got kids.
Yeah, she's not far from here, just kind of diagonal across the square. It's a kind of a red door, you'll see it.
Thanks very much. I think we'll stay and have another drink or two and then see if she'd be willing to meet with me.
Yeah. I think at this point the good-looking man that you spotted Irene stands up and does a much better job of leaving, like, chilly than the constable did. It is still storming outside. So he, like, pulls up his jacket, which is very nice, and puts his cap back on.
Can I tell what general direction he's going?
Yeah, if you watch him out of the Laughing Horse Inn window, he's headed north.
Cool.
So, let's hop back up to Castle Plum. You are brought into a library. Annabelle goes to fetch whoever needs to know. And she comes back with... Well, I think I do have a picture of Lord Arthur. Seems like the kind of thing I would have, right? Yes! Haha! Lord Arthur. He's got a bald pate, this heavy walrus mustache, and is very formally dressed. But Annabelle comes in with him. Says, Lord Arthur, I'd like you to meet my brother, Mr. Zebulon Augustine Claiborne Montgomery III, and my friend, who's actually from your shores, Miss Ganymede Graves.
Good day, sir. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for taking care of my sister while she's out here on your shores, as she says. Zeb sort of puts out a hand to shake.
He takes it. It's very formal, like about everything he does.
And Ganymede as well. And she just sort of nods. Malone?
He, make a psychology check.
Ganymede or me?
Anybody. If you want to. You don't have to.
Alright. And I have a reroll on this one. A free reroll for this one, so.
I'm going to use an advantage here.
God damn it.
Ooh, a success.
Okay. Don't understand. So, I mean, what you see, I mean, he's obviously a country gentleman, very proud man, probably in his late 60s. But Ganymede, you, know that these type of, usually these type of men have a very, like, controlled nature, and you can see he's a bit, he's at least uncomfortable with having strangers here.
Yeah.
You know, this is the kind of place where everyone knows everyone, and two strangers show up at your door, and...
Right. Seeing that, Ganymede says, My lord, I must apologize for the imposition. I've only just recently returned to Oxford, which is my home, and had my friends with me when we were surprised to discover that Zebulon's sister was, or had been at least, here in Lesser Edale, and so we felt compelled to track her down. Very kind for your hospitality on such short notice.
He does the nod, says, yes, usually prefer a bit more notice for visitors.
Of course.
Yes, I do apologize about that. We were just sort of passing through and thought to check in on her while we had the time. And again, as Miss Graves said, we thank you very much for your hospitality. a very lovely home that you have here.
Yes, well, perhaps you should stay for supper. If you've come all this way to visit Annabelle, I wouldn't want to cut your visit short. With that psychology roll, he would very much like to cut your visit short, but he can't. He's a gentleman.
Of course. That's very kind of you. I'm not sure that it would be very appropriate for her to turn them down either. I think that all of the social conventions sort of compel an acceptance here.
And Zebulon's not going to turn it down because, as far as he's concerned, when someone offers you supper, like that's it. Like that right is where I come from. Where I come from, like if someone offers you supper, they mean it.
Yeah.
And if
you've placed the two most polite people, or most tied to social conventions etiquette people into the situation. Like,
yes, indeed. I think that's quite kind. We've actually come to the village with two other friends who and have rooms at the Laughing Horse.
Who'd you come here with, Ganny?
Dev just looks at Ganymede and he's just like,
friends from that I've known for some time, both Americans. They were with me in Peru.
All right, I'm not gonna lie to you, Anna.
Okay.
I'm just. We'll tell you, as we're getting caught up, maybe.
Lord Arthur says, should we be expecting more of you to show up this evening?
No, I don't think so. I think they are. No, Anna does know about Peru, so she knows exactly who you're talking glaring. About.
Yeah.
But we Zeb, I don't think they're sort of doing their exploring the attractions of your lovely village here, and I think that they are taking care of themselves tonight.
Yes, we would hate to be a bother.
Well then, I shall see you this evening. We take supper early. Feel free to look around. It is quite an old building.
Thanks. Yep, of course. Thank you very much again.
It's beautiful. Thank you.
He turns and leaves. What the hell?
Well, he's.
All right.
He's. Yeah, I think we're both stammering over each other like this.
I think Zeb's like, and if you can just sit, if we can all just sit down. There's been.
I'm perfectly fine standing, Zebulon. I do not need to sit.
Do you remember? You've met Mr. Jackson, before, I think, right? Has she not met? Has he not dropped by before?
No,
she's heard about him though.
Yeah.
Right. She's from both Charlie and I think. Well, you know how we were both good friends with. It's Jackson Elias, right?
Yep.
I sometimes get that swapped up. I keep wanting to do Elias Jackson. That's right. Yeah. Because Zeb just calls him Mr. Jackson, right?
Yeah.
So I keep wanting to. Anyways, well, you know how both we were good friends with Jackson Elias from our trip in Peru. We had been asked to meet up with Mr. Jackson in New York, where we unfortunately found that he had passed away.
He was murdered, in fact.
All right, I mean,
That's terrible.
and we're fulfilling his something he left for us in his last his will.
What's that?
Following up on an investigation he had been working on for his next book, I think.
Well, I assume it doesn't have anything to do with this village, so did you really just pop up here for a friendly visit with your sister?
Yes.
She looks so
I mean,
great.
Zeb is here.
Yeah, I know. She
Zeb
looks
is
like
here just
Ganymede.
Well, yes, of course. I mean, please don't imagine that. I'm so sorry, Annabelle. I didn't mean for this to be uncomfortable for you in any way.
Look, I've already punched him.
Obviously not hard enough.
I mean, I do agree with you there. And he's not. I'm not. He's here because he's heard about your beastie problem around these parts, and you know him. He's very interested in that type of stuff. Don't worry, he's not coming up here. You don't have to see him if you don't want to. I'm in fact discouraged.
I certainly have no interest in seeing Charles rap ever again.
All right, I mean, that's what I've told him. He has no expectations of anything. He's just here following up on that, as I said, beastie problem of yours out here.
Wonderful.
I can punch him again if you want me to.
I do not need you to fight my battles for me, Zebulon.
I mean, that's not really, I wouldn't really necessarily be doing it for you. I mean,
I have to go change for supper. Ganymede, do you have something to change into?
Oh, no, I just have another set of traveling clothes back at the inn, I'm afraid.
Right, well, you come with me and we will fit you up with something.
All right, then.
I'll wait here, I suppose.
Yep, she takes Ganymede's hand, she sticks her tongue out at you, Zebulon, and...
I don't know why she's mad at me.
Oh, you know. Why not? You just brought her ex across the ocean. Fine.
I was content not to mention him. Ganymede.
Yeah. So Zebulon, you are left alone in the library. You've been given kind of tacit permission to wander around. So what do you do while you wait?
I think Zeb's gonna look at the books.
I love books.
Yeah, Zeb's. We know how well looking at books goes for
Yeah.
us. But Zeb's gonna look at the books because he's got pretty good library use.
That's awesome. Yeah, why don't you give me a library use roll?
Alright, I'm gonna roll with advantage because I
Yeah.
don't think I can. That's not even a guarantee at succeeding.
Hey!
I got a success.
Yeah! Tommy got a success, everyone. Take a shot. I don't have a shot, but if I did...
It would be the most sober drinking game you've ever had if you drank
It's
every
true.
time I succeeded.
It's completely true.
The most interesting thing in here, there are lots of old books, but there's what appears to be a journal. that's old. I actually need you to also make a language check, an English check. That should be whatever your knowledge is, I think. Your education, rather.
Own language skills. Own.
Yeah.
Or...
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Let me just make sure that my ability doesn't.
Yeah. You can also just tap education.
Able to collate facts quickly, gain a bonus die when making intelligence, but not idea rolls.
I'd give it to you. For this, yeah.
So I will do it. Jesus Christ.
There's
just,
a
just
success.
barely. Just
That
barely.
Is, I don't know.
Just
I'm gonna have to
skirting
like
that line.
message Eric and be like, "What did you do to Tommy?"
Skirting this
Okay.
line.
The script is archaic. It's in English. It's just an old English,
old
right?
English, yeah.
And at least
as someone who's read a lot of Arthurian legend, I'm very familiar with it. It's terrible.
It's not quite babbling. There are different kind of it's kind of like a history of the Vane family, dating back a bit, but there are like different stories in it of there's interesting.
If I found the Necronomicon.
No. Okay. So there's a story, sorry, I said 16th century, probably more like late 16th, early 17th century. So there's all sorts of stories. There's a brief piece about a woman named Lady Evangeline Vane, who in 1608 was a prosecution witness at the trial of Annie Stafford and Jenny Green. The two women were found guilty and hung for witchcraft. And the book alleges that they kind of called out a curse on those who had who were responsible for their deaths. There's a far more weird story. One about some kind of religious figure. And it basically, the author of this, Edgar Vane, says he found these in an older book that isn't named, just kind of referenced, that says that the family used to be worshipped some kind of, it might be like possibly like druidic or something like that, some kind of idol named, and it's like spelled out phonetically. It says Mordigani. That one's very hard to read. But there are like things written like foul desires and like Edgar writes, like blasphemy.
Alright, so okay. Very interesting read. I think Zeb finds it. I think Zeb finds the stories very interesting. I'm dropping into Zeb's voice. I think Zeb finds the stories very interesting. Certainly, and like, I mean, he's had, you know, certainly since he's sort of stepped into this more investigative role of journalism, like he's definitely found these types of things a lot more interesting than he may have once have in high school when he was, you know, a football star.
Yeah.
I think he just kind of finds a seat and he kind of like thumbs through it and reads through it.
I think as you're in there, you also see kind of a flash outside of the window. Just like a flash of blonde hair. This
like
window,
outside in the rain.
Yeah, the rain. Yeah, it's definitely still going. But this window kind of looks out into a large garden. And if you kind of look through it, it's hard to see, but you see a girl, probably early 20s, long blonde hair, just kind of walking through the garden.
Yeah, trying to hypnotize me again, Lauren? Trying to do something
Blonde
else?
hair. Blonde hair. It's just a girl.
I don't trust anyone that walks alone in this game. If you're walking alone, you're dangerous. But no, Zeb is. I mean, I think Zeb's like out of out of not like a little bit of curiosity, but also out of courtesy. There we go, courtesy. Like this is probably someone who lives here. They just popping in to say hello, let them know that I'm just like here. Like, I think Zeb sort of like pops. Like, is there a door that leads?
You
into
could
this?
like open the window. It like opens
All right.
out with a latch.
Zeb will sort of like open it and then just kind of knock on it to let them know that he's there.
Yeah. She turns around. Very pretty girl, blonde hair, blue eyes, slim and tall. Let's take a look. And she is definitely surprised at your presence, but in a good way. And she kind of moves quickly back through the garden. You see she's barefoot, actually. And she says, hello.
Yes, hello, hi. I thought I should introduce myself since I'm currently obviously probably a stranger in your home. My name is Zebulon Augustine Claiborne Montgomery III. My sister is Annabelle.
I'm Eloise Vane. And she kind of like looks past you. Could you help me in?
I mean, sure. Yes. I mean, yes.
Yeah.
I
She
mean, I
kind
guess
of
he
like
holds
looks
out
over her shoulder up at like the different levels in the castle, and like nods to herself and like holds out her hand.
All right. I mean, he grabs her hand and helps her through the window.
Yeah.
Like, there must be normal entrances to this garden, right? Like,
yeah, there are,
surely?
but she didn't go that way.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And she closes the window quickly behind you and draws the curtains.
All right.
She's like sopping wet.
Do you need me to get someone?
No, don't get anyone, please. Let's just.
Would you like my jacket?
Yes, I guess. I'm in a bit of a state, and she goes over to the fire.
Yeah. I guess Zeb will offer her his jacket. You often go out for walks in the downpour, I suppose?
I get outside when I can.
Do you not get outside often?
She shakes her head and starts to like squeeze some of the excess water out of her hair.
Well, she introduced herself, right? She said Eloise. Yeah, she did. This is me being tired. Be early in the morning. Well, Miss Vane, I mean, you have a very quite the home here. At the very least, if you're gonna stay inside a bit, you might as well have an interesting home to be in.
Yes. Although I suppose you can get bored of any place, really, if you're cooped up long enough.
I mean, I suppose that's true. I mean, I can certainly attest to that. I like my home, but I like getting out. I like doing a bit of traveling when I can.
You travel? Well, yes, you're certainly not from here, are you?
That just kind of laughs awkward. I mean, I've done a bit of traveling. I've been mostly down around the Central and South America areas, and then sort of along the east coast of America.
At this point, you hear footsteps, and she scrambles to hide behind a couch.
It's just kind of like, what the hell is this girl doing?
But the footsteps don't stop in front of the door. They continue on, a bit more rushed.
Mm-hmm. You can come out now. I think they're gone.
I can never have any privacy here, or it's too much privacy.
That's man, that is quite the. I mean, I can understand never having any privacy, but I mean, I grew up with 6 sisters and very family that's all very much up in each other's business all the time.
That's how I feel, and I just have the one brother.
Can't really suppose I understand the having a lot of privacy at the same time, but then. Should I be looking out for anything for you here? Like letting you know if you're not I mean, I suppose you wouldn't want anyone to find you looking like you've just come out of the rain like a wet dog.
Yes, I'm just not supposed to be walking outside in the rain. I'm kind of have a weak constitution, they tell me.
Oh, well, I mean, you should certainly be taking care of yourself.
Well, if I could sleep, that would be one thing, but
Well, you have trouble sleeping. Well,
nightmares.
Well, nightmares I can understand. That's real unfortunate. Now see, I don't personally have an actual what an actual sleep drink you would make to like what your mom would make you to help you sleep, right? But that's gonna go into see my mama, she would make whenever we were having trouble sleeping, she would make warm milk with some sort of warm milk with what is it?
Milk and honey usually, or tea and honey, or
milk and honey to help
nutmeg,
us sleep.
yeah.
Although a little bit of nutmeg. I don't know if you've ever tried any of that. It helps from time to time. I think it's more just just a comfort thing more than anything else. But that's I'm sorry to hear that.
Are you planning to visit your sister for long?
Not really. I mean, we were just dropping by. I'm with a couple friends of mine, and we were in the area, and I had heard that she'd been in the area, and I was just dropping by to fill her in on some news, say hi, see how she's doing. It's been a little while since I've seen her, and
where are you headed next?
I think we're heading to London. Yeah, we're heading to London.
London.
Yes.
London, wonderful. Do you think you could take me with you? And I think that's where we're gonna end today's session.
That just does surprise Pikachu face.
Okay. Woo! Yes, nailing it. Let's go backwards around, check in with everybody. Tommy, how you feeling with all your massive successes today?
just really just eking in that success there. Just
yeah.
skirting in on the other side of success. I'll take it. I'll take it. Don't get me wrong, roll 20. I will take it, but still, it's really disheartening to go have a 60 in psychology and then watch Ganymede get a fucking 16.
I know.
So it keeps happening to me. First Lindy, then Ganymede.
How you doing?
But
though?
yes, it's your fault, Lauren, why I
Okay.
personally don't trust anyone walking alone in this game. Anyone that's just
It's
out
her
and about
house. Why
by
would-
themselves.
It's her house. She's just walking in her house.
I do not care. They are probably dangerous. She is going to eat me.
God.
But yeah, oh man, I'm super excited to explore. I mean, I have a feeling that we may not make it to London quite as quickly as we thought we might make it. Charles. But also probably because Ganymede and I are gonna get locked in this house tonight because something bad is gonna happen, and we're all gonna be werewolves in the morning, which I, for one, welcome.
Y'all are ridiculous.
But yes, that's super exciting, and we're gonna smuggle one secluded country noble girl to London, I guess, or try.
Yeah.
But I'm at Impaired Penguin on the Twitter sphere. I do tabletop RPG stuff and video editing stuff, like the intro to this show. Other than here on Saturdays, I am over on Encounter Roleplay on Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern, where I'm running Eclipse, an Urban Shadows campaign set in LA, and things just got spicy.
Excellent. Let's hop up to Summer. Hey, Summer.
Hi.
Hey,
Totally fun and fine and cool. I love when
Yes.
girls walk alone in the rain.
I do too.
I think it's hot.
Barefoot.
So,
Mhm. Gotta include the barefoot
It's
bit
not
there.
weird. You're
yes,
weird.
I think it's hot when girls walk barefoot alone in the rain outside their own home and then come back in through the window. Sexy hot. And I love
Mhm.
it and I support it. We're bringing her with us everywhere for the rest of the campaign, I
Great.
think.
Good.
And if she's
Unless
a
she eats us
werewolf,
first.
I'm not even mad about it because she can help us. You know, she can help us.
Yeah, all these things are definitely
Just keep her well
correct.
fed.
Mhm.
Give her lots of meat and room to run. Weak constitution, my ass. Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Summer. You can find me on Twitter at Just a Summer Job. That's where I tweet and retweet about everything that I've got going on. I'm here every Saturday. You can find me really playing real games with Dylan on a Narcissus channel every Monday. We're starting a new game. I'm pretty sure we're playing Broken Age. Don't know what that is, but I'm excited to play it. And then Off the Table is launching into our new season. So there won't be a stream on Tuesday, but we will have our first stream of our new all BIMPOC cast of Monster of the Week. It's going to be really fucking fresh. I'm excited. I've been working hard on their assets and it's going to be spicy. There's more. Just go follow my Twitter. I just retweet all that stuff, you know?
You know.
Okay.
All right.
This was super fun.
Yay. Excellent.
Werewolves.
Werewolves, not swearwolves. Let's go over to Allie, who is smitten.
I am. I hope you really enjoy role-playing Eloise because I agree with Summer. She is now a permanent part of this party.
All right. Okay.
This was such a blast. It's one of the things that I really love about this game and this system, right? There's this whole investigation and exploration aspect of it that's critical. It's hard to really play this game without having that and doing it well. And I know I've said it here before, but you all do it so well. It's so much fun to be a part of. There will be plenty of time for shooting things up in Lesser Edale, I'm sure. But for now, this is delicious, and I love everything about it. You can find me on Twitter at Allison Robinson with 2 L's and a Y. You can catch me here on the channel on Mondays at 6 Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern for Strange Invasion Assault on the Barrier Peaks, where we are role-playing around on the borders of fantasy and weird science. It's spells and swords and robots and alien devices, and if that sounds like your jam, we would love to have you join us. And that's it for me. Thanks, everyone. Have an awesome week.
Excellent. Key, any personal stuff?
Yeah, I am Kienna. I am the sweet of the channel. Y'all can find me over on Twitter at Kienna S. Best way to figure out what I'm doing when I'm not here on the channel. But mostly just here hanging out. Actually, on Tuesday, goddamn, it's going to be Tuesday, we are premiering Against the Stars, our brand new Burn Right campaign, which I am GMing. Super freaking excited for that. We're partnering with Roll20 for that, so you'll be able to see it both on our channel and on Roll20, as well as our YouTubes there. So it's going to be real cool. I'm really, really excited for it. I'm going to be back in the GM seat for the first time in over a year. So it's going to be a great thing. And we're going to be experimenting with some new cool stuff for donations. We're going to be doing a full charity. It's going to be all charity donations for Against the Stars. And we're going to be also playing around with some new audience interaction stuff, including helping to further some of the factions that exist in the campaign. So it's going to be super cool. So if you're into sci-fi and all that stuff, definitely come hang out with us Tuesdays. This will be 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern as our premiere, and then every Tuesday for a whole season, and maybe more after that, but be exciting. What about you, Lauren?
I am Lauren. I'm That Salty Ginger over on Twitter. And obviously you can find me here basically Saturday through Tuesdays now, maybe with the video game stream on Thursday. I'm part of the Magpie Curated Play program. I just had my first session last night. It was really fun. So if you want to play something like Bluebeard's Bride or a mini campaign of Urban Shadows, I'm running games over there. I have like 1 ticket for 2 games left right now. So it was really fun. Patrick will tell you. I don't know if Patrick is still here, but he'll tell you how much fun it was. We had a good spoopy time. And also this Thursday and every Thursday in August, I'll be over on twitch.tv/rollforit playing my bubblegum pink tiefling. And I do full cosplay and it's really fun. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I made a bunch of dirty jokes last time.
I mean, I would be disappointed if you didn't.
Thank you.
Quickly to go through our channel stuff. Again, a thank you to our wonderful sponsors, and that includes Roll20, virtual tabletop of choice. We're part of their Spotlight program, which helps highlight a bunch of indie TTRPG people in the space. Please go check out Roll20 and go check out the other people in the Spotlight program, because there's some really cool stuff that's out there. And Against the Stars actually has like basically all Roll20 affiliated people, so awesome stuff there. Of course, our other sponsor, Dice Envy. If you like those physical quick clacks, please go check that out. We often do announce their new releases a couple days before they officially announce it, so if you want to get the scoop, follow us and
the scoop.
Yeah, and you'll be able to get some really awesome stuff. They're doing their Dragon Dice line right now, so it's going to be slowly coming out. We have the red dragon, the blue dragon stuff out right now. Definitely cool stuff over there. And of course, Grinding Coffee Co., which helps to keep us fueled, or rather keeps Lauren fueled, which keeps the production fueled, which is really important. Great coffee, part of it goes to charity, all that good stuff. So please go check them out. If you ever miss an episode or want to rewatch one, we've got our YouTube channel. We upload the VODs for all of our regular series, or whatever other story-based stuff we do, whether that's one-shots or video game things. And of course, if you want to keep up with us when we go live, please go check us out and follow us on Twitter. Best way to keep up with when we go live for regular series, one-shots, video game, whatever else. We do have a Redbubble, which has some really cute designs.
The cutest design.
Including the complex love polyhedral diagram and a brand new one, which is Sir Pretzel, done by our friend Serena Marie.
Defender of Dice.
Real cute. You can get them on like a shirt, on notebooks, on mugs, on masks, on coasters.
My shirt's coming in and my coasters are. I'm so excited.
Yay. But anyways, it's a great way to help support the channel. And speaking of, thank you everyone who has supported us, whether that's through donations or subs or whatever else. It helps to keep both the lights on here and also to help pay our cast, because we believe in supporting them and appreciating them through compensating them for their time and energy and love that they bring to the table as we do here. That's about it, I think. I think I've run through everything. So we're going to go raid some friends. Stick around in chat, please. If you got that hype emote, please spam that hype. Otherwise, just spam some hearts for love from us at Saltysweet Games. We'll see you tomorrow for The Witcher.
Witcher with a new trailer and
with a new trailer.
New trailer song.
That would be really awesome. So please check it out. And then Monday for Strange Invasion and Tuesday for Against the Stars. And of course, next Saturday for another episode of this. We'll see y'all around, friends.
Bye, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye.